You know, in the short-term rental game, it's the little things that can absolutely make or break you. And today, we're going to tackle the biggest one, cleaning. But we're not just talking about wiping down counters. Nope. We're going to architect a full-blown, professional, repeatable system. The kind of system that turns that turnover headache into your secret weapon for scaling up. All right, let's dive in.
Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it. This is the absolute non-negotiable foundation of your entire business. I mean, look at this quote. It's not an exaggeration. Cleanliness is hands down the #1 reason people leave bad reviews. And think about it. Why is that? It's because your guest makes up their mind about your place in like the first 30 seconds. Seriously. And that first impression, it all comes down to how clean it looks, how it feels, and yeah, even how it smells.
All right, so this brings us to the core of it all, the foundation of 5 stars. We're going to dig into the psychology here and really understand what I call the cleanliness multiplier effect. So here it is, the cleanliness multiplier effect. And it's so powerful because it's not just about addition, it's about multiplication. See, when a home is sparkling clean, it doesn't just add one good thing to the list. It actually multiplies the guest's positive feelings about everything else. Suddenly, that comfy bed feels even more luxurious. The location feels safer. It's amazing. But, and this is a huge but, the opposite is a nightmare. A dirty home does the exact same thing, but for negativity. One stray hair, one sticky spot, and suddenly every tiny flaw in your property is under a microscope, amplified into a reason for a 1-star review.
Okay, so what's the takeaway here? You absolutely cannot leave this to chance. You can't just hope it's clean enough. 5-star consistency, the kind that builds a real business, only comes from a rock-solid, documented plan. So let's put on our hard hats. It's time to architect your cleaning blueprint, starting with the master SOP and checklists.
All right, this right here is the master plan, your SOP, or standard operating procedure. And I want you to think of this less like a simple to-do list and more like the actual architectural blueprint for the entire turnover. It's a strategic sequence. There's a reason top-to-bottom dusting comes before room-specific cleaning, right? It's just common sense. You don't want to clean the floors twice. This kind of simple, logical flow is the key. It's what allows any cleaner, whether it's your veteran or a brand new person, to step in and produce the exact same perfect 5-star result every single time.
Okay, so from the master plan, we're going to zoom in. We're looking at the detailed blueprints for each room. And let's start with the kitchen. This checklist is about so much more than just cleaning. It's about totally resetting the guest experience. So yeah, of course, you're sanitizing countertops, but look closer. You're replacing the sponge. You're restocking the coffee. You're making sure that the next guest feels like they are the very first person to ever use that kitchen. That's the goal.
Now the bathroom, oh boy, this room is probably the biggest trust signal you can send to a guest. I mean, think about it. If the bathroom feels even a tiny bit grimy, their trust in the cleanliness of the entire property is just gone. A single stray hair can absolutely torpedo a 5-star review. That's why this checklist is so specific. We're hitting all the high-anxiety spots that guests inspect, whether they realize it or not. We're talking hotel-grade clean, nothing less.
Moving on to the living room and bedrooms. Here, the blueprint shifts a little bit. It's all about creating that immediate, I can relax now feeling. And that feeling is built from the details, right? The little things people notice. Sanitizing the remotes and light switches, so important. Vacuuming under the bed, not just around it. And making sure those pillows are fluffed and the throws are folded just so. It's not just about being clean, it's about showing you care. That's what makes a house feel like a home.
Okay, so we've got our blueprints. They're detailed, they're smart. But what good is an architectural plan if you can't do a final inspection, right? We need a way to verify the work is done perfectly, especially when you're managing this whole thing from miles away.
And this is how we do it. The 12-photo inspection set. This is your remote quality control system. And let me be crystal clear, this is not a suggestion. It's not a nice to have. This is a non-negotiable, mandatory part of the turnover process. Every single one of these photos gives you eyes on the property. It proves the checklist was followed. And, just as importantly, it creates a time-stamped visual record of the property's perfect condition right before your next guest walks through the door. This protects you, your cleaner, and your business. All right, our structure is looking good. But any good architect knows a building needs to be resilient. It has to withstand stress. So now, we're going to build in some reinforcement. We're going to design systems to handle the 2 things most likely to crack your foundation: laundry bottlenecks and last-minute emergencies. Let's talk about laundry, the #1 time killer.
The magic number you need to remember is 2.5. That's the 2.5x linen rule, and it is a game changer for avoiding stress. It's so simple. You need one full set of linens on the bed ready to go, one full set in the wash, and a half set. That's your oh crap reserve. Extra pillowcases, maybe a top sheet, tucked away for emergencies. You follow this simple formula, and you will pretty much never have a laundry delay again. Ever.
So this brings up a really critical strategic decision every single host has to make: on-site versus off-site laundry. Look, doing it on-site is obviously cheaper per load and you've got more control, but man, it is the ultimate bottleneck on those tight back-to-back turnover days. Using an off-site service costs more, no doubt, but what you're really buying is time and speed. There's no single right answer here. You have to look at your booking calendar and decide what's more valuable for your business, saving a few bucks or saving precious minutes.
Okay, let's talk about when things go sideways. Because they will. A truly resilient system doesn't just hope for the best, it plans for chaos. This is your emergency protocol. It's your fire escape plan for when a cleaner gets a flat tire or a guest leaves your place looking like a rock band just checked out. Having a list of backup cleaners, using gig workers for small tasks, keeping an emergency kit on site, it's all about one thing: making sure you can react with a calm, professional plan instead of pure panic.
And finally, we get to the last piece of the puzzle, because a great blueprint isn't static. The best systems are designed to improve over time. This is how we build a continuous improvement loop to maintain that 5-star quality always.
You know, if you really want to improve, you have to get out of the world of feelings and into the world of facts. And that's exactly what a simple cleaner scorecard does. It takes something subjective like, I think they did a good job, and turns it into objective, trackable data. Look at the metrics: punctuality, following the checklist, photo reporting. When you have this data, you can have real productive conversations with your team. You know exactly where to offer more training, and you know who your rock stars are that deserve a bonus. It's all about rewarding the people who execute your blueprint flawlessly.
So there you have it. That's the complete architectural plan for turnover excellence. We started with the foundation, that powerful cleanliness multiplier effect. We drafted the master blueprints with SOPs and checklists. We built in remote inspections and reinforced the whole thing with emergency protocols. A system like this is what separates the hobbyists from the true professionals. This is what makes scaling your business not just a dream, but an actual possibility. The blueprint is designed. The only question left is, what's the first wall you're going to build?